What's up, guys? I don't have a very good deck today because I've been busy all week with a side LP project. You guys have probably already seen the first episode by now, and it's mainly that and a couple of other things just blended in here at home that make it a little bit difficult to make new decks. The main factor being that I don't have the big expensive cards that these new decks are demanding, like, you know, full sets of like Deoxys or Thunderous or anything like that. I have Staraptor, and that's what I'm gonna work with today. But this is ideal start, assuming he does not get anything in play and he does not end me out. I can Skylar for a rare candy and I can go for my Staraptor. But the gimmick behind this deck is that you have to get as much energy on Starly as possible. If you can go first, that's even better, because that's already 3 energies on the field. If you have a Victini and you have a Starly, that's great. You could have a Staraptor up by turn 2, assuming you draw into a DCE on the next turn as well. It's all kind of perfect stormy. This was one of them that worked out pretty well. I'd honestly say this happens maybe like, I kind of want to say 30 to 40% of the time. I end up with a lead out somewhat like this, where I end up winning in the first 2 or 3 turns. But on this one, it was perfect. I was able to Skyla for the rare candy, get the Staraptor up. He did not get anything on the field other than the Emolga, and the Strong Breeze attack of Staraptor, which I mentioned countless times in the pack opening, is that it shuffles a defending Pokemon and all cards attached to it back into their deck. So it ruins setups, like Eels, if they want to like Dynamotor onto different things and then just keep that energy on there, it puts the energy back in their deck, which is exactly what they don't want. Stuff that rare candies up, I essentially ruin the rare candies because of that. I think there's a good example of that in the game after this one, if I'm not mistaken. But this guy was playing some kind of I'm definitely going to say Plasma Box is one of the more popular things right now, because I see 2 Deoxys, I cure them, and I'm like, well, shit, I also see an Absol as well. Very solid Plasma Pokemon to work with. Also gets a 3rd Deoxys, meaning that Kyurem for 2 energy will be able to do 60 to the active and 30 to the bench. Absol will be doing base 50 damage plus 20 more for every one of my bench Pokemon. That Absol gets really scary really quickly. But I didn't pull too many of them. I think in like 70-something packs, I only hit 2 of them. So that's something I got to work on as well. But I'm going to put down 2 Starlies, go for Getsis, see how many things of his I can shuffle back into his deck. I get a pretty decent amount. Getsis operates on what is it? You look at your opponent's hand, shuffle their items back into the deck, and you draw according to how many items you shuffled back into their deck. So it's a big disrupting card. It's perfect just because it allows me the time I need in order to build up these guys, because I don't have a rare candy in hand yet. I've got a DCE on one. I've got 2 Fire Energies on the other. I have 2 Staraptors in hand. And it turns out I have to do this the manual way by evolving one of these guys into a Staravia. So I'm going to opt to evolve that one and go for a Turbo Energize. And I decide, you know what? I'm all in on the one that I just evolved, because it is the only one that is going to be ready next turn. So just like that, drop a DCE Turbo Energize. It goes from 0 to 4 energy in one shot. That is basically the kind of setup I need. But the problem is I don't have anything to work with here so far. So I evolved to Staraptor. I do not want to discard a DCE, which is why I have the switch. I could probably be running Float Stoats instead. My head was not in the right place. I'm not going to say that this deck build is final at all in the slightest. I just wanted to show you guys the mechanic. It's a fun mechanic that I really wanted to mess around with. So I shuffled. What did I shuffle back into his deck? I think I shuffled the Kyurem, so that was kind of cool. Anyway, this Absol is going to do a lot of damage, and it really sucks. Just because he can Chorus Machine up. Mind Jack will do 50 thanks to the 3 Deoxyses on the bench. Well, 50 plus 70, 90. I think that's an even knockout, as a matter of fact. So I don't know why he's lasering. He would have had it in the first place. But it's 50 plus an additional 80. It gets pretty scary pretty quick. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do here, and to be completely honest, I don't have a lot of plays I can make here because I don't have any more Staravias going on. I think I run 2 Staravias and 3 Candies, just because I do run otherwise the max line of Starlies and Staraptors. So I decide, hey, all I can do is stall for some time, go for some Turbo Energizing, and try to power the rest of these guys up. I find when I use this deck, I run out of energy really quick, because believe it or not, 4 energy on something is a lot. that's in this deck that is a third of the fire energy, if I'm not mistaken, and then I run DCEs as well. So there's a decent amount of energy, but if you play one poke wrong, things get pretty bad pretty quick. But let me tell you what went well. I top decked a Juniper, and from the Juniper I came into a Rare Candy and a Staraptor. I could not have asked for a more beautiful turn of events there, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to go ahead and burn that one energy retreat and go for the Strong Breeze, which is going to get that Deoxys out of here and promote his Absol. So all this is just disruption everywhere. So that's how the deck operates. I've been thinking about maybe running Mute EX in here as well, but that's just another vulnerable, less than 180 HP EX that I maybe don't want to work with. But it would be nice to be able to use the Versatile to, like, move the energy around and stuff. I don't know. This is just me thinking off the top of my head. Versatile, when does anybody ever use Versatile, to be completely honest? I could not give you a direct answer for that. But I decided to Rare Candy that one into another Staraptor, just so that way if I hit a DCE on my next turn, I should be good to go. It's really tempting to Ultra Ball, and then... Actually, no, it's not really... I don't need an Ultra Ball for anything, come to think of it. I was going to say I'm going to get a Staravia, but then I remember that I don't have any of those. So... Absol's a big freaking threat right now. I need to get this thing out of here. So, if he had another Deoxys on the field, he would have been able to knock me out with that Absol. But his Deoxys has enough energy on it, so it can go for Helix Force, which is, if it has a Plasma energy on it, it does 30 plus 30 more for each energy on the defending Pokemon. 6, yeah. No, wait, no. Is it? I feel like I might have messed. I think it's Energy Card, not... energy, because that only did 120, whereas I feel it should have done 150, or maybe I don't know Deoxys that well. But I'm Ultra Balling to burn some cards, so that way I can get a full 6 of stuff that I might actually use. Fortunately, hit the DCE that I absolutely wanted, get to go into the Staraptor, and then just shuffle this thing back in. So as long as you can keep Staraptors somewhat consistent, which is really kind of hard, given the fact that it's a stage 2, but... they have to put down a Pokemon for every Strong Breeze that you do, and they have to build up something else. As such, it's really easy to see where your target is, and you can use catchers and stuff in order to shuffle out the one that they're trying to put all their dice on, because they're going to try not to promote something, and then you can just do that. So I go for Getsus right there. Both of his things turn out to be items, so I just end up flushing out his hand, drawing 2 cards, and then just I get to Strong Breeze this Absol out of here. So now he's left without a hand, which I think is really awesome. Gets a Plasma energy on that one. And this is the momentum that I wanted right here. This is the momentum I want in all of my games, where they don't draw anything. I get them completely out of a hand. They don't have a supporter or anything like that, and they just turn out to draw completely dead. And then you just shuffle everything back into the deck. So that's how that second game went down. I played for around, kind of want to say 30, 35 minutes. I really only got 3 good games if you count that first one as, if you don't want to count that first one as a game, then it was 2 games. I don't know if it was just everybody playing really aggressive, / I hadn't gotten on TCGO in a couple days, and I don't know how the format's changed. But the Staraptor deck was the deck I was testing the night of Plasma Freeze release, so I was like, alright, you know what, we'll go with it. So I get a decent lead out right here. I have a Victini, I have a Fire Energy, I have a Pecom, so I can spit the Staraptor back in my deck, get a Starly, energize it, and then if I really want to, I can Juniper away the Communication and the Scramble Switch. It's painful to get rid of the Scramble Switch, just because I can just get the energy off of a dying Staraptor, similar to how I do it in Charizard, get it onto something on the bench just to preserve the energy. So I don't really use it as often in this deck, because usually something that comes in to knock out Staraptor is going to one-shot it. So I'm thinking maybe I should swap out the Scramble Switch for something else. It just seems like such a shame in order to, like... Wait, did I actually want this game? The correct answer is no, I did not want that last game. I'm actually just going to leave this in because I really don't care. So here's a better start. I have a Victini, I have a Pecom for the Staraptor, spit it back in my deck, get a Scarly, Turbo, energize it, and Scarly. I don't know why I said Scarly. That was stupid. Anyway, I go first. That's nice. And it turns out I get one. That's not bad. So turns out I can just Rare Candy next turn. That's nice. If I top deck a DCE, that makes my life a hell of a lot easier. But leads off with a Tornadus, Icy Squirtle, which means I'm seeing Blastoise and Plasma Freeze. Very unusual, especially with the presence of Frozen City and other things like that, unless the Blastoise happens to be playing a counter stadium or something of the sort. I see Blastoise like maybe 1 out of every 15 games now. It has dropped a lot, which I'm kind of glad for, because it used to be something really scary. But right here, I think I opt to just attach. Am I just manually? I think I'm just Yeah, I'm manually attaching to that one. Okay, and then I can just turbo energize onto the benched one. I don't know why I'm dropping extra on the other one. I guess because I was fighting EXs a lot. This deck accidentally does really good against Kling Klang because you can like shuffle in the Kling Klang, and then you can what is that? Intensifying burn the Cabalion for a one-shot, which is actually really cool. But right here, I get the Skyla for a rare candy, and you can see what he was holding off on. He was holding off on going for the rare candy into the Blastoise. I'm going to rare candy into my Staraptor, bring that thing in, just retreat. It's also nice to have that extra energy so I can still turbo energize. And that thing is out of here. So he has no energy on the field, nor does he have the potential to accelerate anymore. And all it is just basically me gonna be able to strong breeze and stuff like that the rest of his pokes. So I thought I had more games with this deck. I honestly don't know what happened to them, but this is the, like, I've only got these three right now. So this is what we have to work with. But the other thing I did want to talk about after this, after we realize that he does not, in fact, have anything going on. Actually, he's going to peek on. I think he's going to peek on for a basic here. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay, so he gets the Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is a big old fucking threat to this deck. I don't think you guys even, well, you probably do understand that all it has to do is drop a DCE, and it does like 120 to a Staraptor, so he just needs a DCE and a laser. I'm not messing around with that. That thing goes back in the deck, and just scoops from there. Now, the thing I did want to talk to you guys about, and is probably the reason that the comment section is going to be flooded, is I saved 50 packs for a giveaway for you guys. A decent amount of them being freeze, probably at least 20 to 25, not freeze, excuse me. You guys probably got excited that it was freeze. No, I saved some Storm just because there's a couple of things in Storm that could be pretty cool. And the rest of them were credits, so I mean if you're going to pull from boundaries or whatever. But the thing is I don't know what kind of giveaway to do. So if you guys have like any ideas for that, the one thing I was thinking of is maybe like a deck idea, like a creative deck idea that actually does okay, or a drawing contest were probably the two that I was sitting on at the moment. And then for those maybe that aren't good, I could probably open drawing to like creative media, so like make a video or something like that. I don't know yet. I feel like if it's TCG related, I want to make it like a creative deck contest. Something that would actually work out okay, because if you're on TCGO, you're familiar with cards, and if you want cards, you're probably familiar with cards, and that would probably lead you to be able to make a deck that would be interesting and fun. It would pay off for the user, because the best ones, the top three, what is it? The first one would get 25 codes. The next one would get 15, and then the third one would get 10. So I'm doing a first, second, third. Or I could just pick one grand prize person to win all 50. So that's another thing I was thinking about as well. So I guess the main options right now are 50 codes, winner take all, or what is it? 25, 15, 10. And then what kind of competition it is / giveaway it is going to be. So I guess leave me comments. Let me know what you guys would want to do on that, / if it was a thing that you would be interested in. And we'll just regroup on Thursday, and I'll kind of announce what's going on from there. So sorry it was kind of a short video. It gives me the opportunity to just actually come up with new decks, new content, stuff like that, because this weekend was kind of interesting. So anyways, that'll do it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.